will see more into functional programming that we'll be using a lot. New other Scala object. The name is function by value example, and let's copy everything from here. Okay, so let's try to understand this again. This is my main function which is going to be executed, and these are my two functions. So these are my two functions that I've highlighted in blue, and these functions will only be executed if I call them. If I invoke them, then only this will be executed. If we invoke, then only this will be executed, else it won't be executed. So these are the two functions. The first function is a time function and second one is execute. So these are the two functions. Let's try to understand these two functions. What is the name of this function?
Time.
How do you understand this is a function? What is the
Def.
keyword? A def. Okay.
Keyword term.
What is the input argument for this?
Nothing.
Nothing. What is the output?
Long.
Long. Okay. So what it does is it first prints something, then it returns a nano time. So first it says that it is inside the time function, then it says that return nano time. Okay. What is the name of this function?
Exec.
Okay. What is the input for it?
It's a T long.
T
I
long.
mean long. Type long. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Return type long.
return type is long. What does it says? First,
So inside execution function.
inside execution function. Then what does it say?
It will print value of T.
Value
What
of
we
T.
have.
Then
Okay.
exiting from the execute function.
Yeah.
Then return T.
T. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So let's try to understand this one more. Let's take it in paint. Okay. So how will be the flow? Once you execute this function, you are calling the functions from here. So you are calling the function over here. So in this case, this is the function that is invoked execute, and this is function that is invoked time. Till now you were seeing that we were never passing a function inside a function. We were just passing some variable. The input argument was just a variable. But if you see over here, this execute function, what you are passing? You are passing another function, time function to it. So over here you are passing another function, that is a time function to it. How will be the execution steps? Let's just try to understand. First it will call this time function. So first it will call this time function, and it will print this one. It will print inside time function. What it will print? Inside time function. So first it will call this time function, and since it calls this time function, it will print that inside time function, and it will return you the nano time. Whatever is the nano time, it will return you. Okay. So what do you have now? Since you already called this time function, now you don't have this time anymore. Over here, instead of time, you have some instead of this time function, you are having some nano time. Let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my time. So this time 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this time will go here. Now this time will go here. This 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will go over here. So what is over here? 2, 3. 5 6 7. Okay, so what it will print now. Once it goes over here, the argument that is passed is 2 3 4 5 6 7. So what it will print over here now?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
Inside
before
execution
this it will
function.
print that
Inside execution function.
inside execution function. Okay, great. Then what it will do? Next line is what?
Time.
Time.
Time
So
equal to here.
it will say time, and it should print something. Instead of t, it should print something 2 3 4 5
4.
6 7, whatever is the time. Okay, and then what should be printed?
Existing. Exiting from execution function.
Exiting from this. Okay, then what it is going to return? T. It's
Time.
going to return t, right?
Yeah, time.
Okay, so it was going to return this t, that is 2 3 5 6 7 again. And what it will print now again? Once it returns this, this will be printed, right?
Yeah.
What is this printed? What is the value inside this? Execute and time function. What execute also written? Execute also written the same thing, right?
Yeah, time.
So it will say that 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay. Uh, Difficult to understand in the first go. So let's try to repeat again. Let's try to repeat again the entire explanation again. Let's try to repeat this entire explanation again. Okay. Let's start again. This is my entire program. What is these two things? These two things are functions, right?
You can say
What is the name of this function?
time.
Time. Any
Uh,
input argument?
no.
What is the output?
Long.
Long. And whenever this function is called, it will say that inside time function, and it will return the nano time.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the name of this function?
Execution. Exit.
Input argument?
Long.
Long.
T.
And output is again t.
Long.
So it is
Yes.
just taking the t and giving back the t. What it does?
It is printing three values. Two statements, one t value.
Okay. First it says that inside execute function, then say time is this, exiting from execute function, and also returns this t. So how was the flow that we discussed? First, what will be called? What will be called first? Will it be execute that is called first, or a time that is called first?
Time.
Okay. So since the time is called first, what it prints, it goes into t, and what it prints?
Inside time function and the nanosecond
Returns the
value.
nanoseconds. Okay. Then it calls the execute function, and it passes the argument as whatever was the nanoseconds, 2 3 4 5 6 7 nanotime. Then it over here it prints inside execute function time is equal to 2 3 4 5 6 7 whatever. Exiting from the execute function, return t. And finally it prints that main function 2 3 4 5 6 7. So only thing that you need to understand over here is which is the function that will be called first. Will it be execute that is called first, or will it be time that is called first?
The execution function will call first, then time.
No, first time is called, right? First the time was called, then only we got the nano time and we called execute, right?
Yeah.
First the time is printed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, actually, first we are calling execution function, and
Okay. Okay.
under yeah.
Okay. First we are calling the execute function, but how it is processing?
Okay,
First
yeah,
it
then
is getting a value of time, right?
yeah, yeah.
So first it is getting the value of time,
Okay.
then doing execute, then finally printing main. Is it clear? Anyone, any doubts in this? If this is clear, the next example is exactly the same. Any doubts in this?
No.
No.
Okay. doubts, then just try to execute it. Right click, run as Scala application. Okay, so it says that inside time function, that is what we wrote, inside time function. Then it says that inside execute function, whatever is the time exiting execute function, that is what we wrote over here. And it says that main function is this, so that is what we wrote over here. Is it clear? Any doubts in this?
No.
No doubts, anyone? Any doubts? So it is the first time that we are seeing that a function is passed as an argument to another function. Okay, over here, over here, for a execute function, what is the argument that was actually passed? Is it a 2 3 4 5 6 7, or was it a time? What was actually passed to execute? It was 2 3 4 5 6 7, right?
Yeah.
Because it already called the time function, got the value, and it passed 2 3 4 5 6 7.
So,
So it is actually passing the value, right? So this
okay.
this is called as, this type of example, or this type of invoking a function within a function is called as a function by value. Function by value. This is called as a function by value. Any doubts in this so far? Anyone? Any doubts in this? Since we are passing a value, it is called as a function by value. Any doubts in this? Anyone? Any doubts?
Harish, inside time function,
Yes.
we have said print line inside time function.
Right.
So when we are calling this time function, this line should get printed, right?
Inside time function, it is
Yeah.
printed, right?
So whenever this function is getting called, it will print inside time function. But in the result, it did not printed inside time function.
Okay. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anyone? Any other doubts?
No.
Okay. If no doubts, then let's go to the next example, function by name. It is the same example, exactly same. So right click, new, other, object. It's func by name example. Okay. The same example, exactly the same. No doubt, no difference, not much difference. Just take over here. Okay, if you can see this, what is the difference between above example and this example? There is a minute difference in these two examples. What is the difference? Anyone can find out? Anyone can find what is the difference between these two examples? There is a single
Parameter that passed
to what over here?
to execution, yeah.
Okay. So over here it was just a t long, and over here there is one equal to and greater than sign. So this is the only difference between two. This was called as a function by value. The above that